Hello everyone, welcome back to another lesson. I know it has been a very long time since I made a lesson, and I promised you guys that I'm going to make a very important lesson on 18th lesson, and that would be about Kurdish grammar and verb conjugations and etc. And finally, I did it. To be honest, I was preparing it like several months ago, because it has been like 4 months since I uploaded 17th lesson in Kurdish. The problem is I really got very busy. I went to Turkey. Then when I came home, there was Kurdish independence referendum. After that, the war happened with Iraq, and still the war is kind of still going. And now I am really busy because it's my I'm senior student, so this is my last year at uni, and I have graduation research paper project. And basically, my project is really great. I chose a difficult topic. It is a psycholinguistic. It's from psycholinguistics. It is about first language acquisition. Uh, anyway, if I finish my research paper, of course, I'm going to share it with the world. But it's about first language acquisition. Probably I'm going to make a quick video about it in upcoming days. But anyway, so that was the thing. Anyway, if you are really a Kurdish learner, please don't skip this video. If you really want to learn Kurdish, and especially its grammar, don't just skip the video, even 1 second, because I'm going to talk about many things as an introduction, but I'm going to talk about Kurdish tenses. I'm going to talk about all the tenses in Kurdish, okay? All the tenses in Kurdish. So that's why don't skip the video. And I'm going to give you a very basic introduction about Kurdish verbs, the classifications of them, endings. We will talk about many things, okay? Many grammatical things. And yeah, but it's very useful for your Kurdish, especially if you learn the tenses, then you are able to make sentences easily, okay? So please pay attention. And for the next lesson, I supposed to make a vocabulary lesson about words and actions in kitchen, as someone requested a long time ago. But I think for the next lesson, I'm gonna make a video about Kurdish tenses. Although I explain all the tenses today, but for next time, I'm gonna talk about Kurdish tenses in deep, okay? So for the next lesson, I'm gonna talk about tenses again, but in deeper, okay? In more detail, in more details. And probably for 20th lesson, I'm gonna make the vocabulary lesson for kitchen stuff. Oh my God, wait, verbs. And basically, yeah. But here you're gonna have a really good introduction, and some of them I don't explain them in deep, but probably in upcoming lessons in 21, 22, etc. Probably I discuss them more. Nowadays, I really don't have that much time to make lessons for you guys. So please, if I upload my lessons in not a short time and not very soon, please don't get angry on my channel. And by the way, I'm really getting tired into making these lessons. Don't worry, I don't ask for Patreon, but please like the video, share it to the other Kurdish learners and other people. That would be much more appreciated. Anyway, let's start. First of all, I would like to show you a term, kar. Verb in Kurdish means kar. Some people, they use kirdar. Okay, kar or kirdar means verb. If I make kar and kirdar mean verb. But if I want to say verbs, in previous lesson, I showed you that how to make it. You basically add a can, okay? So yeah, kara can mean actually kar means work. For example, if I say kar kirdin, it means to work. Okay, kar means work, job, profession. It also can mean verb. Okay, in grammar we use it as verb. Kirdar actually it also can mean not characteristics, but it can mean behavior. Okay, in certain, according to the context of the sentence, you can use it as a behavior. For example, to kirdaret Joanna, for example, it means you have your behavior is nice, for example, is good per se. So yeah. So anyway, let's see what is verb. Okay, what is verb, and we will talk about the conjugations of Kurdish verbs as well. But just wait a minute. Verbs or verb is a word used to describe an action, state, or occurrence, and forming the main part of the predicate, or it forms the main part of the predicate of a sentence, such as to hear, to become, to happen. These are all verbs. And we have different types of verbs, okay? For example, we have action verbs, we have dynamic verbs, we have stative verbs, we have copula verbs like become, etc. But anyway, they can be classified in several ways. As I classified now, according to their dynamics. Are they doing a physical action, or are they doing a mental action? For example, to have is a stative verb. You don't actually use your physical energy to do it, but you actually just using your mental energy. And but when you say to walk, actually you are using your feet and etc. Okay, and copula verb is to like to become, or for example, to be, verb to be. These are copula verbs, or they are called linking verbs. But anyway, classification of the verbs, there are many ways to classify them, and we have the same thing in English. Let's see. Classification of verbs according to take or take, oh my god, according to take or not taking an object. Let's see. Object, by the way, object in Kurdish, as we use it in English for the noun that receives, or the entity in the grammar that receives the action in the sentence, in Kurdish we call it berkar. Berkar, okay? By the way, in this lesson I wrote everything in Kurdish Latin. I think that was easier. So sorry if I don't write in any script. And yeah. Anyway, tepar, okay, so we have, it's basically like English, classifying a verb in English verbs in English. Are they transitive or intransitive? So tepar is tepar. It's a Kurdish word, which is I wrote it in a wrong way, but anyway, here is the right way here. Tepar is transitive verb. Tenapar is intransitive verb. If you notice, tepar, we just added na, okay, to create intransitive, to create the negative of tepar. But anyway, tepar means transitive, tenapar means intransitive. So we have two types of verbs that they take transitive, that they take object or they are not taking object. For example, omirt, it doesn't need any object. So it is basically it's intransitive. But min nan dachon, I eat food, it is transitive verb. And if you see, mirt means died. But if I say to die, we basically say mirdin. Mirdin. You don't pronounce this I. This I is called bizroka. You don't pronounce it, but you write it. It is like sure in English. Yeah, I mean you don't really feel it when you say it, when you read it in Kurdish, when you pronounce it in Kurdish. Min, this is like this. Yeah, this is how you pronounce it. You have to add I because I mean, two consonants in Kurdish is impossible. It's not impossible. It's impossible in Kurdish Latin script. You have to add this I between two consonants, but you don't pronounce it. Min nan, the whole means I eat food. Basically, nan can mean bread, can also mean bread, can also mean food. Okay, just for your information as a fun fact, ninda in Sumerian also means bread or food. Okay, so basically, yeah. Some Kurdish historians believe this is how the word nan come from. Or some Kurdish etymologists. Anyway, that was verb classification according to barkar or object. But now let's see the verb classification according to the voice. Although today I'm not talking about the voices in Kurdish. But anyway, when the subject of the verb is obvious, it is active. Like for example, nusin means I wrote. It is passive when the subject is not clear. For example, nusra, it means was written, but we don't know it was written by whom. Okay, it was written. If you see in English, we have the same thing. We have active voice and passive voice. Okay, active voice and passive voice. In Kurdish, we create them by adding suffixes and affixes, all right, by suffixes and etc. But in English, it's they are different a bit. So yeah, so we have active voice and passive voice for the verbs in Kurdish as well. But probably I'm going to talk about this concept in next videos. Verb classification according to content. Okay, content in Kurdish means na warok. Na warok. Okay, na warok basically means content. So according to content, let's see. In English you can say functions. Okay, we have four types. Okay, kar, reje, raganden. Reje it kind of mean rank. But anyway, we use it in the grammar as a term. So reje raganden, basically when you give information, okay, to someone, it's reje raganden. Then we have reje danani. Basically, reje danani also gives an information, but reje raganden, it gives information directly, but in reje danani, there is kind of ambiguity, all right? Not vagueness, okay, because vagueness you won't understand, but there is kind of ambiguity, and it doesn't give you the information directly. Shewazi reje dakhwazi. Reje dakhwazi, basically when you request something or someone requests something. This is reje dakhwazi. Then we have shewazi raste marji or shewazi marji. This is j sound. Basically, it is when you. It's basically our conditionals, okay? Conditionals in Kurdish. Just like how you have conditional sentences in English. Okay, so now let's get into the tenses. Although after I explain this chart, I'm not going to the tenses directly. We have something we need to talk about. Kurdish infinitive, verb to be in Kurdish, and kirdin, verb to do in Kurdish. And we have linking pronoun, possessive pronouns. Then we will talk about the constructions of these tenses. Basically, in Kurdish, verb tense we can say katikad. Probably there's other terminologies, but katikad means time of verb. Cat means time. Cat means time. E means of, or like do in French. Car, sorry, not car, car. Car means verb tense. Car, oh my god, just give me a minute, guys. Cat means, cat means cat. We add E, but we link it with the cat. It basically means time of verb. Time of verb means verb tense. Got me? It's like French de. Okay, for example, when I say tombe, probably this is how you write time in French. Tombe du verbe, let's say. Tombe du verbe, verb. Something like this. Okay, this do works like this, but it is suffix in Kurdish. Okay. Basically, you have two type of tenses, two main sectors of tenses in Kurdish. You have raberdu, you have ranaberdu. You have past and non-past. It's exactly, if you have information in Japanese language, in Japanese language is the same thing. You have two tenses, past and non-past. Okay, past and non-past. For example, you say oranjiro tabemas means I eat orange or I will eat orange. This is non-past. But if you say oranjiro tabemashita means I ate orange. So at this time it's past tense. But conjugations in Japanese and Kurdish are a bit different, but they are very similar on their basis of their verbs. Like there's past tense and there is non-past tense. Let's take it. Past tense, we have 4 types, and non-past, we have 2 types, but it's easier. Ranaberdu or non-past is easier. Anyway, raberdu means something that past, okay? Something that had passed in future. But ranaberdu means something is not had passed, hadn't had passed, okay? Let's explain, all right? Basically, ranaberdu, this word are negated from raberdu, okay? Raberdu, we add na here to make it negative of raberdu. So basically it means past and non-past. Anyway, let's take the types of past tense in Kurdish. Past tenses, we have 4 past tense. Raberdu nazik means near past. Raberdu tawaw means the past that is finished or completed. Tawaw means complete. Raberdu dur means past, remote past or past perfect, you can say in English. I'm going to give you the when I explain the tenses later in this video, I'm going to give you the English term for them, okay? Raberdu bardawa means continuous past, or the past that is still continuing, all right? This is past tenses. Then we have ranaberdu. Actually, we have the same, we have esta and dahatu means now and future. Dahatu means future, so now and future. But what you see in ranaberdu, you have the same construction, the same sentence. For example, in raberdu, you have 4 different sentences and 4 different constructions. But in ranaberdu, you have only one sentence. It can mean both. It can mean now, something that is happening now or at the time of speaking, and it also can mean future. It can mean dahatu. The same as I talked about in Japanese. Oranjiro tabemas. I eat orange. It can be now or future. But let me tell you, how do you know it's now or how do you know it's future? It is basically according to the context. If the context of the sentence, the context of the sentence will show the action is happening now or in future, all right? Okay, now let's go to Kurdish base or infinitive verbs. Verb base or infinitive verbs. It's very important to know. Okay. Kurdish verbs in their infinitive form, which are called chawag, are having 5 types, or let's say half is better, I think. Have 5 types. Okay. Chawag basically means infinitive verb to base, verb base or verb infinitive. For example, to play in English, to open, to kill, to walk, to die. These are chawag in Kurdish. But in Kurdish, they are not like this, to plus verb. No. They end with n. Every Kurdish verb ends with n. But there are 5 endings according to the letter that comes before n. Okay, I think in Persian they have only 2 endings. Okay, they all end with n, but they have 2 letters that comes before n. But in Kurdish we have 5. Look, we have an. Some verbs ends with an, some with din. Okay, this is not din, this is din. Some verbs ends with wun, tin, and yin. Let me give you the examples to make it more clear. For example, an, we have sultan. If you notice, it ended with an. Danan means to put, it ended with an. Din, for example, we have kirdin. Kirdin means to do. I wrote it like this before, but in Kurdish Latin you have to put this I, but you don't pronounce it. So this is din, not din. You have birdin, which means to take. Bun, which means to be. Chun means to go. You have shtin, which means to wash. Wutin, to say. Kautin, to fall. Karin means to buy. This R is strong. Karin, not Karin, Karin. This R is also strong. Frin means to fly. So these are chawag. And there is something. These verbs, they are having 3 forms. For example, if I put the N away, and when I put A and N together away, we have 3 different parts. If I put the N away, I have simple, oh my god. Okay, I have simple past. If I put an away, I'm going to have past participle, or in Kurdish we call it root of the verb, the root of the verb, or stem. Okay. Anyway, let me go to the verb bun. Verb bun is present form of the verb to be in Kurdish. We have it like this. You conjugate it like this. This group is used with nouns and adjectives. Okay. There is another classification though. For example, if you say boom, if you say I was, you were, we conjugate this verb. But basically, verb to be in Kurdish, you can conjugate it like this: me, it, eat, a, in, ne. For example, minim, I am, toit, you are, awa, he is, she is, it is, emain, ewan, awanan. Okay, you add, I added the personal pronouns. If you don't know them, go back to the second pronoun. So they are suffixes. You add them to the nouns and adjectives. For example, I say ewa juanan, means you are all beautiful. You are all beautiful. I added this in to the adjective, okay, because it's verb to be. Let's say I say min Kurdum. It means I am Kurdish. Min, then you say Kurd, then you add m. This m is verb to be, and it refers back to min. It refers back to men. So I can omit this M and just say kurdum, because this M is verb to be and it refers back to subject I. So that's why I can omit subject I. Just say kurdum or min kurdum. It has the same meaning. For example, you say min kurdum to kurdit ewa au kurda ema kurdin ewa kurdin awan kurdin. You add these endings to the nouns and the adjectives. Min joanim means I am beautiful or I'm handsome. It means both of the things. To joanit au joana ema joanin ewa joanin awan joanin. This is noun, this is adjective. As you see, you can add to both of them. Then we have verb kirdin. We conjugate. Conjugation is kirdin means to do. We change it to kird, which basically means did. Okay, if we put in away, you create simple past right away, which I will explain in a minute as well. But yeah, basically you can say min kirdim means I did, to kirdit, you did, o kirdi, he, she, or it did. Ema kirdman, we did, ewa kirdtan, you all did, awan kirdian, they did. You also can omit this blue part, which is subject pronouns. You can omit it. You just say kirdim, kirdit, kirdi, kirdman, kirtan, kirdian. You don't have to put these subject because you have an ending. This ending, if you see, it is different from verb to be. That's because they are not verb to be. Okay, they are called linking pronouns. Okay, linking pronouns. You put linking pronouns on verbs, but you put verb to be on words, on nouns and adjectives. And about linking pronouns, we have three groups. Okay, we have three groups. It's one of the main groups. This group can be used as possessive pronoun or object pronoun or subject pronoun. Okay, subjective pronoun. For example, here it's used as subject. It refers back to min, back to I, so that's why I just say kirdam, let's say. They are kind of close to verb to boon when it's conjugated, but actually it's not verb to boon, so be aware of that. Okay, linking pronouns are a bit different. There's three groups. Probably in future lessons I'm going to talk about it in deep. But we have man, man, t, tan, yi, yan. All right, we have me, t, yi. It's added to me, min, to, au, ema, ewa, awan. You add them into the verbs of these subjects. Okay, when a verb has this subject, you add them. For example, for I, you add me. For example, I said min kirdim means I did. You add am. You add me at the end because of min. If it's to, you add t. Something like French conjugation here. So these are linking pronouns. Okay. Possessive pronouns, they are the same as these linking pronouns, but used as possessive. For example, kurum means my son, kurakam also means my son, but kurakam here you added aka. Aka basically means the in Kurdish. It's a suffix. It's definite article. Definite suffix. In Kurdish we don't have article, but we don't have definite article, but we have suffixual article. An article, and a suffix that works same as definite article, like the. Or in French you have la, le avec apostrophe. Yeah. Or you have le, which is plural. But in Kurdish you have aka, but for plural you have akan. Okay. So it means my son. Kteabakatan means your book. Kteabaket means your book. But kteabakatan means your book. This is plural. Kteabaket means your book. This is singular. كتابكان or كتابيان, but كتابكان is more correct, means their book. Oh my god, why my typing is so fucked up. So basically, see, kurum, I added M. Kurakam, I added M. But ahka here is definite article, or definite suffixal, definite suffix, you can say. Ktabakatan, we have tan, and ahka, as I explained. Ktabakat, we have t, but ahka is, you know, as I explained. Ahka here, as I explained. But yan, this is possessive pronoun. Basically, we have possessive ending, not possessive pronoun though. Okay. Let's go to the tenses. This is our last thing. It's not the last slide though, but this is our last subject for today. I will explain the past tenses. Then I will explain. Non-past tense, and then we will end our video. And I'm happy that I can make a beginner, because soon I have to go to university, so I have to be fast a little bit here. Let's see. Past simple in Kurdish, it's called Rabardu Nazik. To create this tense is very easy. We only omit, or we only delete the N sound at the end of the verb. For example, mirdin is the infinitive of to die. If I say died, if I make it past, I just put the N away. And that's it. You have now mird is past tense, simple past. But if you say I died, you don't say min mird. You have to say min mirdim. You have to add M at the end. And this M is janawi likaw, is linking pronoun that refers back to min. I know it's a bit difficult, probably it's a bit difficult to understand, but in next lesson I will explain these things in detail. Çareser kirdin, basically it's a compound verb. Çareser means solution, but çareser kirdin means to solve, okay? To solve something, to solve a problem. Çareser kirdin, if I make it past, I just put the N away, it will be çareser kirt. I shouldn't have linked between them, but anyway, çareser kirt. For example, I say keşakam çareser kirt, means I solved the problem. Why you don't add anything to kirt? Here you don't need to add anything, okay? You say keşakam, this M, look, kesha, without this kan. Kesha means problem. When we add ke or eke, it became the problem. When we add m, it became possessive. You say my problem, keshakam. You don't say kesham though. You have to add ake. You have to, because it's your problem, it must be definite. Okay? So keshakam, chara serkir. Chara serkir is one verb altogether. Means I solved. I did solve. This is Rabarduinizig, or past simple in English. Then we have past perfect, which is Rabarduidur in Kurdish language. Rabarduidur, or past perfect, an action that happened in remote past. They are made a little bit differently. Look, we put the end of the verb away, of the infinitive. Then we add verb boon, but we for example, verb boon as we saw here. If I make boon past, I just put n away, it becomes boo. Boo means happened. Boo means happened in the past, okay? Look. So here I add the stem, you can say, or in Kurdish we call it qad, of the verb. Okay? So it becomes mirdibu. Mirdibu. Mirdin becomes mirt, and we add bu, it becomes mirdibu. It means it happens a long time ago. Çareser kirdin, put the N away, it becomes past, but you add bu with the verb, it becomes past perfect. So çara ser kirdibu, çara ser kirdin, çara ser kirdibu. For example, keşakam çara ser kirdibu means I had solved the problem. I had solved the problem. Only by adding bu, keşakam çara ser kir means I solved the problem, but keşakam çara ser kirdibu means I had solved the problem. Okay, easy peasy. Then we have rabırdu tawav or present perfect. Rabırdu tawav, it's something that happened a short time ago, in a little while ago, probably half an hour ago, 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, etc. It's something that happened a short time before now. To make this, okay, it's easy, but let's see. You delete the N, and then you add wa. Okay? For example, mirdin, mirdua. Mird, then you add wa, as you add this suffix, wa, you say mirdua. Çara ser kirdin, çara ser kirdua. Okay? In some accent, you don't add wa, you add ya. For example, in Hawleri accent, in Slemani we say mirdua, but in Hawleri accent they say mirdia. They add ya. Okay, they add they add double ya. And some words, when it's end with ye, you add another e and then ah. Okay, it becomes two ye beside each other. In some words, it becomes two u beside each other. But anyway, in Slemani we just put wa to most of the verbs. But in Hawleri you add ya. For example, çara ser kirdua in Hawleri is çara ser kirdia. Only the suffix is different, but the same concept in grammar, okay? Keşakam çara ser kirdua means I have solved the problem. This is present perfect. I have solved the problem. But in Hawleri they say keşakam çara ser kirdia. Okay, but I use keşakam çara ser kirdua. This is Slemani accent. Then you have rabırdu berdawam, which basically means past continuous. Something was continuous in the past, or something was continuing in the past. To create this, we delete, for example, you say I was playing. Okay, I was playing, or was dying. We delete the infinitive n, so we put the n away. Then we add the prefix da. Prefix, not suffix, okay? But you have to link it with the verb. I'm sorry here I haven't linked it, just to show you how it is constructed. So mirdin, you say demirt, means was dying. Çara ser kirdin, çara ser dakir. Look, because çara ser kirdin is compound verb, it's basically a combination of noun and verb. It also can be a combination of adjective and verb. Okay? Can kirdin, for example, beautify. Means can kirdin means beautify. But here we have a noun and dakirt. Okay? What are you doing? You put n away and you say demirt. Okay? In çara ser kirdin, you say çara ser dakirt. Dakirt. You put that to the second part of the compound verb, to the actual verb, because kirdin is the actual verb, but çara ser is the noun. But together they are verb phrase and they are compound verb. Çara ser dakir means have solved. Sutan, you say the suta. Anyway, verb sutan, the same thing, you put n away and you put the suta. Okay, it was burning. Suta means to burn. Khan wakad the suta katig awan hatan means the house was burning when they come. When they came, the house was burning. This is how you translate the sentence. Anyway, let's go to the last tense that we have, and this is non-past. Non-past means rana berdu. To create this, basically we delete the infinitive n, then we add the suffix the same as here. We add the, and we add the proper ending. At first, in here they don't have endings, but here they have endings. The action is happening now at the time of the speaking or in the future. We can know if the action is now or future by understanding the context or having the word esta. Esta basically means now. For example, nanaka dakhom. Look, you don't. I have a mistake here. You are not only put the n away. You have to put n away and the second letter away as well. Like here, you have to put n away and you have to put a away as well. So you have the core of the verb, or we call it the regikat, basically means root of the verb. You use this part, you don't use this, but you use this part. But some verbs are irregular, okay? Some verbs are irregular. For example, parastin is an regular verb. But anyway, nanaka dakhom, it's also an irregular verb here. So yeah. So you add aka as definite suffix to nan, and then you add dakhom, but dakhom is irregular verb, especially in the root of the verb, in the last part of the verb. But if you add this sentence, as we called it in Japanese, it means both future and now. So to differentiate it, you need to understand the context with the knowledge of the speaker, the addresser and addressee. But if you wanted to make it more clear, there's two words you can add. You can add esta nanaka dakhom, means basically now, it is an action is happening now. But if you add duatir nanaka dakhom, means later. Duatir means later. So by the context you can recognize, or by the time words you can recognize what does it mean. Is it now or future? For the endings, we have different endings. As I said, there's three groups of endings according to the type of the verb. Is it end with din or an? You add different endings. For example, here for the verb khwardin is irregular verbs. You have khwardin, which is base, the verb base. Then you make it the past by putting n away. Then you have kho. It's supposed to be. Actually, it's supposed to be khwari, but in Kurdish khwari is meaningless. So you need to change the verb to kho, and why it's became kho we don't know, because it's irregular. But most of the verbs are not irregular. Some verbs are irregular, which in next lesson I'm going to talk about it in deep. For example, you say min nanaka dakhom, to nanaka dakhoit, o nanaka dakhwat, e nanaka dakhon. It's not dakhoin. It's a mistake. This just put this ye away. It's another ending. I made a mistake putting this. Basically, you add these endings. By the way, you can omit the black part. This black part, like min, to, o, m, o, and the subject pronouns, personal pronouns, you can put them away. You just can't say nan dakhom, because this m at the end, this linking pronoun at the end, it refers back to the subject. So you don't need to use the subject. If you use it or not, it's the same thing. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Just like the video, share it, and for next lesson I'm going to explain more about the Kurdish tenses and the tense theory. So bye bye.